Good afternoon, everybody. I feel very honoured to have the opportunity to defend what is, in my opinion, the greatest of all the arts, literature. Ancient and powerful, yet new, violent, and constantly changing. Literature has influenced human culture for over 4,000 years and continues to do so today. Literature is truly ancient. The first proper text was written in 2100 BC, but humans have been telling stories since they could first write. From these humble origins came an explosion of culture, information, and communication that was marked by literature's ability to evolve, adapt, and endure, from cave walls and cured hides to printed paper. Even today's literature is reforming itself with the advent of the Kindle and the iPad, showing that it can even survive in today's high-tech world where other arts have floundered. But what makes literature so much more important than the other arts? The answers are plentiful, but the simplest reason is that its subject matter is as wide as human experience allows. It can convey information, passion, and bring wonder in an infinitely more subtle way than any other art form can. Books can be authoritative tirades of information or opinions, or they can invoke such powerful torrents of emotion that they can make grown men cry. Books can convey facts, provide social commentary, humour, or perhaps transport their readers on whimsical journeys, or all of them at the same time. The far-reaching influence of the written and spoken word is to be both admired and, on occasions, feared. Consider the many books that have truly influenced the world: the Bible, the Quran, the Communist Manifesto, and, worryingly, Mein Kampf. How many songs, or plays, or films can you say have united or split communities of millions of people, like the above books? Finally, literature is the custodian of language. By looking back over the many books and poems over the years, it is easy to see how our speech has evolved from archaic Chaucer to florid Shakespeare to today's simple tongue. It is the very wellspring from which theatre, musical theatre, and film are drawn. And I also wonder, without literature, how could my fellow speakers have planned their scripts? Thank you for listening, and long live literature.
Do you think that without literature, none of the other arts would exist?
Oh, of course. Think about, well, unequivocally, think about all the films that have been generated from these books. Award-winning franchises such as Lord of the Rings, Harry Potter.
Just about.
Art, though, is a sort of exception. Though some piece of art may have been influenced by pieces of literature, I must admit that art is a truly unique art form. Music. Music is a much more difficult matter. Take Charlotte's opera, which is a fusion of both music and theatre. Consider the many operas that have been based on plays and films. No, not films, cancel that. Books. Romeo and Juliet, Hansel and Gretel. Two examples which are both very well known.
Thank you.
James, you mentioned the K word, the Kindle. My wife's a great fan of the Kindle. Now, a lot of booksellers would perhaps bemoan the passing of the printed hard copy book. Does this concern you, or do you see technology such as the Kindle as giving literature a further boost in the art?
Exactly what you've said there. I consider it to be giving literature a new lease of life, a new vibrancy. Mainly for an economic purpose as well. People are always attracted to the newest bit of technology, so how many of you out here have iPhones? Just a general question. You see, everyone attracted to the newest bit of technology. And you can go on as well. Well, this surely proves, doesn't it, that giving technology something new to play with, the Kindle giving the book the next step in its evolution, it appealing to many consumers and, of course, to authors and other literary types.
Thank you.
I very much like how you separated out the story from the technology used to tell the story, because obviously paper hasn't been around forever,
No.
And the evolution of these things goes with the technology, but the story is constant. But I wanted to ask you about accessibility. With things like the theatre, and to a certain extent musical theatre as well, art, there's quite a high cost to entry. Would you say that literature is something that everybody can experience?
Of course. Cost-wise, my first point, a book costs as little as £1. Those little books that you get on World Book Day, £1 only. And if you get a book voucher with it as well from your teachers, they are effectively free. Literacy in this country is not a problem, that's for certain. 99.9% of people in the UK are literate. In other countries, in sub-Saharan Africa, parts of impoverished Asia, yes, I will admit that literacy is a great problem. That denies accessibility to many books. However, literature can come in oral form as well. Reading books to other people still generates that same feeling of emotion and still conveys the information in virtually the same way. It's just that you are being told the information from the book rather than staring the Kindle or the book or the iPad with your eyes.
Excellent answer, thank you.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, the votes are in. With some trepidation, I stand before you to deliver the judge's verdict. We didn't come to blows, and we did reach a unanimous decision, or unanimous decisions. The first decision is that no one will be thrown out of the balloon. And to quote Jill, they will all sink to their certain deaths together. We felt that each argument was well made, well presented, plausible, passionate, and so on. So we didn't feel that anyone should lose, so to speak. Now then, just one or two observations that we made about each of you, if I may, and then we have reached a decision about first, second, and third. Firstly, Lewis, very plausible, very well put together presentation. Passionately argued, very impressive indeed. So thank you for that, the work that went into that. We felt that perhaps your answers were a little vague. You tended to avoid some of our answers and perhaps didn't score quite so highly because of that. Leo, art, bravo. Art is all around us. That's the thing you started off by saying. It's obviously something that matters to you intensely. Your passion came through very powerfully indeed. You said that art was thought-provoking. You certainly provoked our thoughts as a judging panel. So well done for that. Charlotte, musical theatre. What a way to start a presentation. Absolutely phenomenal. Totally engaging. Very powerful indeed. And a stunning voice that we've heard many times before. I thought that what you came across very well in saying was that music can make us express our emotions, it can make us feel happy. And what you said, frankly, was incredibly powerful and very plausible, and we certainly scored you very highly. Bravo. Charlie, very good, very highly interactive. We thought you dealt with questions particularly well. You used one of the great weapons in the public speaker's armoury, that was humour. And the comeback was very good. So you were plausible, you were confident, and we were very impressed with what you had to say. From time to time, you came across as slightly nervous, but you managed to overcome that with the power of your argument. Briley, theatre, once again, a very well presented argument. We felt that you coped quite well with questions, but tended to run away a little bit, and you sort of said a little bit too much. So slow yourself down when you respond to questions. But certainly the argument was very persuasive, very well made, and very thought-provoking. James, we thought your argument was very wide-ranging, very articulate, and very passionately made. We particularly liked the way that you argued that literature was at the root of all of these other activities or dimensions, and there we felt you made a particularly strong case, and we very much liked the way that you drew examples into your questions, and that we felt was very impressive. And so, as I say, we did reach unanimous judgment. We'd be interested to see how far, if at all, you agree with us. So in third place, we felt, for the reasons I described, his humour, his engaging personality and his powerful debate. Third place goes to Charlie. Second place for a highly engaging presentation, for the beauty of her voice, but also, we felt, for the highly articulate way in which she delivered her thesis. We have voted Charlotte. This was a very difficult decision because when we sat down to try to mark these individuals, there was very, very little indeed to choose between them. We did feel, however, on balance, that we had a clearish winner, and so for the quality of the argument, for his wide-ranging intellect, for the way in which he tackled some really quite difficult questions, we decided that the winner of the first ever Saint Felix Balloon Debate should be James. Thank you all so much for being very... Did you agree with that? Yeah, well, we're the judges, we got it right, of course we did. Thank you very much indeed for attending, for being such an attentive audience. And once again, may I thank Jill and Ben, our distinguished guests and judges. Round of applause, please. And finally, once again, to 6 outstanding young people who volunteered to do this. They didn't have greatness thrust upon them. Believe me, they prepared for this. I'd like to thank Miss Ashford for helping them and supporting them, but really 6 outstanding young people who've entertained us royally this evening. So, ladies and gentlemen, many thanks again.